What's up, Fantasy Endgame fam? We are back to do some more drafting tonight. But we're going to take a break from the sleeper mock drafts. I need to get some Best Ball Mania 7s in, so we're going to do some Best Ball drafts tonight. So if you got your underdog account loaded and ready, get ready. You can jump into these drafts with me. We're going to do Best Ball Mania 7. Make sure you're on 20 seconds per pick. Don't worry, we're going to do a couple tonight. So if you miss this one, you can potentially get in the next one. All right, here we go. I'm going to count us in. You want to try to draft with me? Here we go. 3, 2, 1. All right, we are in. Looks like we got 2 spots left. And it is full. Just like that, it is full. But like I said, don't worry. We will be doing another one of these tonight. See what spot we got here. All right, why is it being weird? Try this again. All right, there we go. We are at the 10. 10. It is what it is. It is what it is. Hey, why isn't it showing? What happened? What happened to the draft board? Nope, this one. There we go. What's up, guys? We got Bob in the house. What's up? Commissioner says he's gonna switch from Yahoo to ESPN. That sucks. Big differences. I haven't played on ESPN in forever. But there's always differences in ADP, so definitely make sure you take a look at the ADP first. Ezra wants to do a mock. Sorry, going to do a couple best balls. What's unknown Miami? Thank you, best fantasy duo. Thank you, saying so many ads. Really a lot of ads? I hope not. Money ain't a thing. What's up? Dycliffe. What's going on? Miguel waiting on the next one. All right. Here we go. We're underway. We're underway. Hopefully YouTube isn't showing you guys a ton of ads. All right, pretty standard here. Gibbs, Bijan, Chase, Puka. Nothing out of the ordinary yet. JSN. Standard CMC. So far, there has been no deviation from ADP. Oh, there's our first deviation. CeeDee Lamb, it's a little early for CeeDee. All right, I was gonna go Jefferson there. You know, Genty's my guy here, but I really haven't drafted much JT this year, so let's get a JT share. Ad first thing. Doesn't Yahoo always do that though? I mean, not Yahoo, YouTube. Doesn't YouTube always show an ad? Like every video, first thing you see is an ad. Isn't that just normal? Nycliffe saying favorite spot to draft from is late first, Jefferson, Saquon. If you can get Jefferson that late, you can get Saquon. I mean, but here you saw Jefferson went at the 9. I don't mind the late spots. Okay, we're back on the clock. We're going to go double hero RB. It's close for me between Walker and Chase Brown. Let's go Walker. Go Walker. We're going to go double hero RB here. Money ain't a thing. My existence is an ad. Okay. Does anyone even watch ads on YouTube? No. No one watches the ads on YouTube. They just wait. We just wait for it to say skip or next, and then you hit next, and it says skip, and you hit skip. I mean, I assume some people must. Like, if YouTube didn't drive sales, none of these people would advertise. What's up, Andrea? So it must work. Ooh, Jeremiah Love, middle of the second. Probably the earliest I've seen him. Pickens. the seven spot going with the Cowboys stack, Lamb and Pickett. Very interesting there. Gibbs or Bijan at the 101. I don't think you can go wrong. I really don't think you can go wrong there. I mean, at the end of the season, maybe we'll look back and say it should have been Gibbs or it should have been Bijan. Probably going to come down to injury if one of them gets hurt, but I don't think you can really go wrong. Double running back is a method this year. I think double running back is a method. I think double running back has been great for like the last 3 or 4 years in a row. ESPN has Chase and Puka 1-2 and Gibbs and Bijan 3-4. That's weird. But again, I would definitely check the ADP before you draft, and there's probably some guys hidden down there you can grab at values. All right, couple more picks till us. Almost certainly have to go wide receiver here, barring something crazy. I'm honestly fine with Zay Flowers or T. Higgins here. All right, Zay Flowers it is. Nothing wrong with Zay Flowers. Drea says she's got the number 2 pick in her ESPN league. 2 running back, 2 wide receiver, 1 flex. So pretty standard. Pretty standard there. Oh, man. Do I take the value on Etienne or I just go Tet? I almost could consider going hyper fragile there. Lamar next? No, I don't want to reach on Lamar here. If he makes it back to me in round 5, I'll take Lamar. All right, so let's see. I should know by now who these teams play. Week 17. Panthers get Seahawks. I wouldn't mind Rashid. I wouldn't mind a little Shaheed mini stack with Tet. Ravens week 17. How come I don't see the Ravens? Oh, you get the Bengals. That's right. Not really any good. Not really any good stack there. Another ad? How long have I been doing fantasy, and who's my all-time favorite fantasy player? That's a good one. I don't even know how long. I don't remember what year I started. To tell you how long ago it was, I had Antonio Gates as my tight end. I had Matt Forte at running back. Des Bryant was one of my wide receivers. So that was a long time ago. I don't remember what year that was. My all-time favorite fantasy player, probably Antonio Brown. But Pittsburgh Steelers Antonio Brown, because I used to draft that guy in the first round relentlessly. And this is back in the day when, like, running backs, like you would see 8 running backs, 9 running backs in the first round, and I would just grab Antonio Brown. And for like 6 straight years, he just destroyed fantasy football. It's probably Antonio Brown before he went crazy. Jacobs or Scattaboo? I think if Jacobs is not suspended, you got to go Jacobs. You got to go Jacobs. Obviously, if something happens, if something comes of this and they end up suspending him, then yeah, just go Scattaboo. But Jacobs, barring suspensions, got to beat Jacobs. What's your go-to QB this year? Well, I have a video dropping on Saturday about that, but I think if you want to wait like a little bit on QB, Justin Herbert, but if you want to really punt QB, you can get Kyler Murray with one of your last picks, and the guy has a chance to be a top 5 QB this year. All right, Joe saying got a 10-man keeper thinking Mint round 2 or Tet round. I don't know who is MEANT. I don't know who that is. MEANT round 2.7 or McMillan round 7.4. I mean, McMillan round 7.4 sounds pretty good, but who is Genty? I mean, I think you got to take that discount on McMillan in round 7. I mean, you saw here, I took him. All right, well, we are going to be able to get Lamar. Let's go. We got the Lamar stacked with Zay. Let's go. That always feels good. I mean, I love Genty, but 2.7. I mean, that's a nice discount for Genty, but McMillan at round 7 just feels like too good a value. So I would probably go McMillan, but I mean, I don't fault you if you want to go Genty. Genty could be a stud this year. But I mean, there's a chance if you keep McMillan in round 7, maybe you still get Genty. I don't know. I don't know how your draft works. Yeah, Herbert 116 in ESPN, Kyler at 152. I don't think you can go wrong with those guys just waiting on QB. The most I won on Underdog, well, in best ball drafts, not a lot. I've had some nice wins on pick'ems. All right, we are on the clock here. I mean, I could go running back again. Let's grab our tight end with Tyler Warren. I like Tyler Warren a lot. All right, who did the Colts get in week 17? Colts get the Browns. So we can grab Concepcion, Boston later. All right. William Mills saying his first pick in his first year playing fantasy was Zeke. If that was Zeke's rookie year or even like his first couple of years, that was great. That was great. Kelsey or Andrews? I think Andrews is definitely worth it. I think Andrews could have I think Andrews could have a nice bounce back year. Kelsey, nah, I'm done with that guy. Good question. Why does it matter who plays week 17 against you? Because in these big tournaments like this, all the money is won in week 17. So what you're really hoping for when you draft these teams is that your team advances to week 17. And then if it does, you want to put the odds as much in your favor. So you kind of want to do game stacks if you can, because like for instance here, so I have Zay Flowers and Lamar Jackson. They play the Bengals. Now I wasn't able to get T. Higgins or Jamar Chase. I mean, maybe I could get like Yosevich later or something if I wanted to. But like, let's say I also had like T. Higgins, and then in week 17, that game, they score like a bazillion points in that game. It just gives me a bigger ceiling for my team that week. Because again, these tournaments are so top heavy, so week 17 heavy. It's not a necessity. It's just another way to kind of try to push the edge. So it's one of those things where like, if it's close and one of the receivers that gives me a game stack is on the board, I'll take them. But it's not like I'm not going to take them over better players, if that makes sense. Crazy to think Dallas Goedert could fit. I think Dallas Goedert's fine. I don't know what you mean by top tight end, but I think he's fine. I think he should be fine. Like, I'm not worried about Eli Stowers or anything like that. All right, coming back around to us. Kind of surprised Mekhi Lemon's going this high. I kind of coming around. If you like downs here, it could give me the Colts. Yeah, let's go downs here. try to get Danny Dimes as our QB2. If I take Lamar, I'm only taking one more QB. What do I do for a living? This is pretty much what I do for a living. It took a long time. It took a long time, but we're finally at the point where, well, this is what I do for a living. Pierre still teaches, but Pierre also has kids. I don't have kids, so I don't quite have the bills that he does. All right, well, I was going to go Godwin the last pick, so let's go Godwin here. Also gives us Baker as a potential QB2. Buccaneers get the Rams. There's really not any Ram I'm going to stack with him, so. I mean, I'm pretty old. Do I want kids? I'm pretty old now. So my wife, she's younger than me, but not like significantly younger, but like 4 years younger. She's sometimes, she goes kind of back and forth. I'm at the point in my life where I'm like, if she one day said, hey, I want a kid, I'd be like, okay, let's have a kid. But I think I'm at the point in my life also where if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. I've accepted it. It's fine. What's up, Chris? He's got the first pick in his league. Do you think I should keep JSN for a second or Rashee Rice for a? You guys got some tough keeper questions. I am that old. My age starts with a 5, so I'm pretty old. Wow. JSN. I think in this case, even though Rashee Rice in the 6 is just an insane discount, I think just because there's risk with Rashee Rice, like, I mean, there's risk that at any time this guy's just out of the league. Like, he's in jail. He's suspended. Like, I think you got to go JSN here. Even though it's a great value on Rice, I just think it's too risky. Just keep JSN. What 2 or 3 players have you been fading significantly at their current ADPs? Alec Pierce. Not drafting Alec Pierce. David Montgomery. Haven't drafted much David Montgomery. Hardly any David Montgomery. Neighbors is getting to the point where I'm like, I probably have to pull the trigger sometimes. I'm not drafting DK Metcalf, Michael Pittman. Nah, no chance. No chance. I used to play a lot of DFS. Now I do. Now I just do pick'ems on Underdog. And I'm not worried about the Week 13 buys. Do I watch Flock? No, I don't really watch any other fantasy channels, to be honest. Nothing against them. I just don't. It's just not like I already like they're not like. All right, hold on. Back on the clock here. It's probably time for another running back. Let's go Dobbins. I don't mind White there. Yeah, nothing against them, but I make fantasy football videos, so I don't really need to watch more fantasy football videos. What is Tyler Warren's bye week 13? I was thinking about going with Harold Fane in there. All right, Gainwell, White. Let's go White. I've taken Gainwell a couple times recently. Let's go Rachaad White. Who do I think has more chances to become running back 1, Monangai or Brooks? Probably Brooks. I don't think Monangai is going to surpass DeAndre Swift. He's going to need an injury. I don't necessarily believe that Jonathan Brooks is going to be the RB1. But if Chuba struggles, he could be. Yeah. I used to play against guys like that. They draft like all Lions, all Cowboys. There was one year in our work league way back in the day, the gym I worked at. This guy had almost his entire team was Lions and Raiders. And now you might think it's crazy to have Raiders players, but the Raiders were good back then. They had like Amari Cooper, Michael Crabtree, Derek Carr. They had that awesome kicker. Like they were actually pretty good for fantasy back then. And that year, the Lions and the Raiders had the same bye week. So he literally only had like, I don't know, 4 guys that weren't on bye. Luckily for him, he was in like 3rd place, so he could afford the loss. Otherwise, I don't know what he would have done. I don't know what he was going to do. But I was saying drafted 1, 2, 11, and 12 last 4 years. Those are good spots. Yeah, I mean, look, in your redraft leagues, you only get one chance at it. Go ahead and reach. Get your guys. Get your guys. All right, probably need to start attacking wide receiver again here. Well, what was the best NFL game you've been to? I've only been to a few NFL games. Not a big fan of watching in person. But the most memorable game for me was when I was like 8, 9, or 10 years old, and my dad took me to a Rams game because they used to be out here in Southern California. And I didn't like the Rams. They were playing the Washington Redskins, who are now the Commanders. So I rooted for the Redskins, and this is back when the Redskins were really good. They had like Joe Gibbs. They probably had Joe Theismann at QB. I don't remember. I was young. And they just smashed the Rams, and that's how I became a Commanders fan. So I don't know if that's it. That's my most memorable game. I've been to some Chargers games, but I don't remember them being great. All I remember thinking is like, man, it's way better to watch this on my couch. That's all I remember thinking. All right, Shaheed would have been nice there. I like Coker here, but I've already got Tet, so let's go Diggs. He's got to sign somewhere eventually, right? Diggs got to sign somewhere eventually. Oh, I just realized Daniel Jones has the same bye week as Lamar. That's unfortunate. So we're not going to grab Daniel Jones. Man, Jalen Coker's still on the board here. Let's go Chris Rodriguez. Haven't heard anything about Ayuk in a few weeks. Yeah, I don't think you have to worry about Ayuk. No, I don't really want to go. I don't really want to go 3 QBs when I got Lamar. I'll just get Bryce Young. Bob's best game was Steelers versus Ravens. Playoff game 2010 long ball from Big Ben and Antonio Brown. Brown was a rookie. Yeah, you got to think Diggs is going to sign somewhere soon. My favorite Antonio Brown moment, you probably remember this, Bob, was when the Steelers played the Jaguars in the playoffs with Blake Bortles the year they almost beat the Patriots in the conference championship game. And they had that elite defense with Jalen Ramsey, and I forget the other stud corner they had. And Antonio Brown just destroyed those guys. Destroyed them. I mean, these guys were like, what did he do that game? Like, these guys had given up nothing. He had seven catches, 132 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And these guys shut down everybody that year. Like, that defense was insane. And he just prime Antonio Brown, one of the best wide receivers in NFL history. Yeah, Megatron in his prime was great. Yeah, that I think that perfect hit did Antonio Brown in, man. Like, for real. Perfect was a dirty, dirty player. Dirty, dirty player. Oh my, did I really just get sniped on Bryce Young? Oh, all right, let's go Denzel Boston for the bring back here. And then we'll just need to get some rando late round QB for week 13. I don't remember the Jeremy Hill fumble, but I remember Jeremy Hill. I like Jeremy Hill. All right, let's go. Let's just grab our second tight end and be done at tight end. Yeah, it might have to be Shedeur. I mean, I just need a QB to start week 13, and now Mendoza I'm looking at. He's got to buy week 13. This is brutal. I mean, I might have to, Geno Smith has a bye week 13. I might have to go like an Aaron Rodgers here. Or Tua or Penix. Yeah, it's been rough for your Steelers since Big Ben retired. Rodgers plays Texans week 13. Great. Well, he's off the board anyways. Somebody took Aaron Rodgers over Mendoza to stack with Michael Pittman. Does Penix have any rushing upside? Not really. Not really, but what are you going to do? I mean, I just need somebody to start week 13. Can't go Mendoza. Can't go Geno. All right. Let's go Antonio Williams here. Let's hope Diggs does not sign with Commanders. Yeah, Antonio Brown walking off the field, that was crazy. And that was fantasy championship week, and Antonio Brown had been pretty good that year with the Bucks. So a lot of teams in the fantasy championships had Antonio Brown. Let's go Zachariah Branch, even though I'm not the biggest fan. And then we'll get one of the Falcons QBs and at least get a stack that way. Will Joe Burrow stay healthy this year? It's crazy. Crazy how often that guy gets hurt. But if he does stay healthy, he'll be really good. Yeah, he did. I remember I had Antonio Brown that year in one of my leagues, and I was like, what? What the heck? I did not. That team did not win the fantasy championship. It made it, but it did not win. Did not win. Is that how it is? Every even number year, Joe Burrow's been healthy? Is that how it's worked? Let's see. So, well, in 2020, he only played 10 games. In 2021, he played 16. 2022, 17. 2023, 10. 2024, 17. Last year, 8. So, I don't know. Remember when Spartan kicked the punt? I do. He didn't even get like a penalty for that or anything. That was crazy. All right, one more running back, and then whichever Falcons quarterback comes back to me. I've been liking Braylon Allen here. Yeah, Big Ben had some monster games. Well, I just realized somebody actually drafted Tua. Let's pray this guy doesn't take Penix. If I would have realized somebody drafted Tua, I would have just taken Penix there. Okay. Thankfully, Penix falls to us. We can at least get Penix. All right. That draft's over. Let's get into another one. If you guys want to join, get your accounts ready. We're going to do another Best Ball Mania 7. 20-second clock. Make sure you're on 20 seconds per pick. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. All right. Says we got 5 spots left. Three spots left. Do I think it's a split with the Jets, Allen? No, I don't think it's a split. But I mean, Allen will He'll score some touchdowns here and there. He'll give me a little something. But if Breece Hall goes down, we can see a lot of Braylon Allen. Yeah, Big Ben had some just absolute monster. He was all back then. He was one of my favorite. It was weird. People didn't really want to draft Big Ben a lot. I don't know why. And I could get him in the later rounds. Yeah, Big Ben was definitely a demon. All right, 2 spots left here. 1 spot left. All right. Oh, we're still waiting for one. Still waiting for one. All right, there we go. All right, we got the 3. I don't think I've had the 3 yet. Please just don't have Bijan follow me. Not that I don't like Bijan, but I already have a lot of Bijan. Justin Fields, where did he end up? He's the backup for Patrick Mahomes now. He's on the Chiefs. No, Ben didn't run, but it didn't matter because he had some games where he threw for he had a lot of games actually where he threw for 300 plus, 400 plus, even some 500 plus games. It's crazy. All right, Dyke saying wild take, but part of me thinks Pearsall can almost outscore Evans this season. I think it'll be close. Pearsall's just got to stay healthy, man. He's got to stay healthy. All right, here we go. Draft is underway. Actually, you know what? I might just go Puka here no matter what. I haven't really had a chance to draft Puka yet, so. Yeah, I'm going to take Puka. And week 17, Rams play the Bucks, so we could try to get Igbuka for the bring back. Go another Godwin here. Even maybe Ted Hurst late. Is Hampton worth a first-round keeper and a 12-man? I don't know. I mean, what are your other options? Oh, Jefferson at the 5 over JSN. That's different. Yeah, getting JSN at the 6 is pretty nice. Do I think this is Mike Evans' last season for being good for fantasy? I mean, he didn't look too bad last year. You got to think at some point here, he's gonna start slowing down. But he'll always have. I mean, I think like we saw with Devontae Adams, he could always have double-digit touchdowns, which will keep him relevant. Funny, last draft we saw AJ Brown, Drake London go later in the second. This draft they go earlier in the second. All right, well, with Chase Brown getting drafted, that means we will definitely not be taking running back in round 2. Probably not even in round 3, honestly. All right, let's go Bowers here. No, Achane not going to make it back to me. Achane did not make it back to me. All the wide receivers getting scooped up here. Come on. Another Zay Flowers team, I guess. Well, I thought about grabbing Igbokwe there just for the stack with Puka. Bob saying he did a mock on ESPN, got JSN at 8. Yeah, I mean, I think Jefferson could be great this year for sure with Kyler. Why does Pickens go ahead of Devonta Smith? People just are never high on Devonta Smith for some reason. Pickens had a great year last year, so. Puka Nacua plus Emeka Igbokwe to someone that doesn't know football. Probably does sound like some crazy babble. I just couldn't. I thought about reaching on Igbokwe there. I just hate reaching in these things. I don't need to get the game stack. There's other. I could get Godwin later. Don't need to get Igbokwe. Trace McSorley should have been picked first overall, not Gibbs. There's a take. Yeah, JSN Chase Brown is not a start you see very often in these drafts. That's pretty nice. What players in the first couple rounds most nervous about ADP? CeeDee Lamb, Jonathan Taylor, even though I just took him last round. Achane. A little nervous about Nico. I think those are the guys I'm most nervous about. We might be going a 0 RB build here, guys. There goes Jacobs. Ooh, boy. Team 1 is winning. Yeah, it's... Well, with Scadaboo getting picked, we're going to go 0 RB, it looks like. Team 1 is winning this draft so far. Yeah, I think the 101, 102 is just like cheat codes. You get one of those stud running backs, and then you get like 2 just stud wide receivers. You know what? Let's just go full 0 RB here. Let's go Lamar again. Let's go Lamar Zay stack again. Do I think Geno Smith goes back to how he played in Seattle? Or I think he does not go back to how he played in Seattle. I think he's terrible. These are half PPR drafts. Half PPR. Flowers over Olave is gross. I'm way Flowers over Olave. Like big time Flowers over Olave personally. Olave is a guy I'm not really drafting a lot of. I think he's being overdrafted this year. Take QB sooner. I might have to. Say Flowers over Olave. Adams? Devontae Adams? And Higgins? No way. All right. Well, I'm going to have to get a bunch of Rachaad White's, Corums, Manungai, and Brooks in this draft. But if I never done it before because I often draft 2 running backs first 3 rounds. But if I draft 1 or 2 and could get Gibbs or Bijan and Bowers and Josh Allen, I don't think I would ever do that. Man, you're just really... I mean, if it's a 2 wide receiver league, maybe. But that's the only way. But, I mean, you do potentially have, like, the RB1, the tight end 1, and the QB1. There's nothing wrong with that. Hard to argue against that. I love Flowers this year. Maybe I'm irrationally high on Flowers. Olave is going to take a hit with Jordan Tyson. And even for as good as Olave was last year, he averaged 16 points per game, and he was the only guy they had to throw to. I think he's being overdrafted. Adams had 14 touchdowns, but what else did he do? And he's just getting older and older. Higgins, I do like Higgins. I do like T. Higgins. He's the one I could make a case for. Do I like Bucky Irving or Xavier Worthy? I mean, if I got to choose between those two, I'm going to go Bucky. I mean, a 2 wide receiver league with 1 flex, I think it's okay, Bob, if you want to do it. Drake May plus A.J. Brown going to be good this year? Probably. Probably will. All right. I don't mind getting Jadarian Price here. Not the worst RB1 you could get. Yeah, that is the thing about Higgins. You have to be okay with him missing 3 to 7 games a year. Team 9 is really good. Who's Team 9? What is that? JT, AJ Brown, Kyron, the Williams brothers, BTJ, Drake May. Yeah, it's not bad. All right. I will happily take Tony Pollard here as my RB2. I'm actually feeling pretty good about this. Feeling pretty good. Price and Pollard, not bad. Not bad for waiting until round 6. Yeah, Bears pass catchers, I think will both have a good year. I think Odunze and Burton should both have good years this year. I think Loveland's being way overdrafted. Although in this draft he went round 5, which is probably more fair. But most of the time, he goes much earlier. Yeah, that running back fall was pretty big. So now we got Puka Flowers, Evans, Bowers, Lamar, and we still got Price and Pollard. Don't hate it. Purdy next round and I go to sleep. Maybe. Purdy's got a week 8 bye, so that's good. Stafford is a week 11 bye, so that's good. So I could go either Purdy or Stafford and be okay. Do I like Lamar in the 5th with no running back? Yeah, I'm not drafting TreVeyon Henderson or David Montgomery. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I think Lamar, of course, the thing with Lamar, he's got to stay healthy, but they got Declan Doyle coming over from the Bears, offensive coordinator for Ben Johnson, Jesse Minter. It's going to be a totally different offense than people are used to. I think Lamar could legitimately have his best season this year. I think Lamar could be the QB1 this year. Yeah, I love the Lamar flower stack too. I like Javonte in the 4th too. I think Javonte is a great value this year. I don't understand. Like Javonte was solid last year, and you just get him around 4. Why am I against Henderson? Because Ramondre's still whatever we think about Ramondre, he's still the guy there. I believe. Still believe he's going to be the guy there. Well, there goes Purdy. I don't think Stafford's going to make it back to me. This is kind of early for Stafford, but the guy behind me has Adams. All right, I don't normally do this, but I'm going to go Adams here, Stafford here. Let's be done at QB. I might regret that. Art already giving it to team 1. Oh, man. I really want to take Pearsall here. It's okay having Pearsall and Evans, right? They can both be good. Yeah, I got the Stafford Puka stack. I got the Lamar Zay stack, so I'm happy with that. I don't normally like taking a second QB that early when I take somebody like Lamar, but I'm starting to learn in these drafts that I tend to wait too long, and then I get stuck with, Michael Penix. So let's just take Stafford and don't have to think about QB the rest of the draft. Do I have a strong opinion on Kraft? I don't know if I have a strong opinion, but I think he's pretty solid where he's going. I mean, it sounds like he's going to be ready for week 1. The Packers lost 2 pass catchers and replaced them with nobody, basically. I mean, he only goes a little bit ahead of a guy like George Kittle, who I almost certainly think is going to miss a big chunk of the season. But at the same time, I don't feel like you need to take Kraft there. Like, I think I would be okay just waiting around and grabbing like a Laporta, or waiting a few more rounds and grabbing like a Fannin. Certainly don't think Kraft is a must draft. Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if he led the team in receptions. Maybe I might be shocked if he led the team. Yeah, maybe. I wouldn't be shocked. I mean, I could certainly see him leading the team in touchdowns. For a tight end, that's the number one thing, really. All right. Let's hope some decent running backs fall to us here. It's not looking good. It's not looking good right now. Are any Steelers going to be fantasy viable? I think the running backs will be okay. Like, I think Warren and Rico are fine. Like, there's going to be DK is going to have a handful of good games. Pittman will probably have a handful of good games. Freiermuth will randomly show up once or twice. Doesn't their kicker really good? I heard their kicker is really good. Well, there goes my boy Rachaad White. Let's take the other Commanders running back. All right, let's go C-Rod again. What do we got here? Who are a couple players you just don't know yet where to rank them? I think like Rodriguez and Bashal Tootin. That's one I'm going to be watching really closely. Rachaad White, Bill. Although I do feel like Rachaad White will be the guy. I want to see how the Vikings backfield plays out. I feel like a wide receiver, tight end. I mean, there are some. I mean, obviously, I think the Falcons QB battle. I guess the Browns QB battle. Like, I hope they're not really considering Deshaun Watson, but it sounds like they might be. Cardinals might have a QB battle. See who's the least crappy QB in Arizona. Do I think Monangai will be a split with Swift? I think it'll be kind of similar to what we saw last year. Swift, I think, will be the 1A. Yeah, I think Rachaad White's one of my favorite late round value running backs, even though I didn't get him in this draft because, I mean, we know he has the potential to be the every down back. And if he is, yeah, he's not the most exciting, but he's going to have lots of value in that Commander's backfield. But Bill has upside as well, so. All right, I haven't really been in on Travis Hunter too much. Let's grab some Travis Hunter here. No, sorry, Jedi. This is the last one. This is my second draft tonight. I'll be done after this. Been on here for over an hour now. Appreciate you guys being on here. Chatting football. Always a pleasure. Yeah, the Jags wide receiver room is wild for sure. All right, let's go Jonah Coleman. Oh, he took Jonah Coleman? No, right there. What am I saying? All right, let's take Jonah Coleman for the inevitable J.K. Dobbins injury. Jonathan Brooks, I think he ends up overtaking Chuba. That's another one I think we're going to have to pay close attention to. I don't know. Maybe eventually, but and the guy's barely played. Double ACL injury. Let's see. But I think there's a chance if Chuba struggles. I think Chuba's going to be the guy to start. And if Chuba struggles, maybe we'll see Brooks. That could just be a team that just struggles to run the football all year. I'm actually not minding my running back room for waiting so long. Jadarian Price, Tony Pollard, Bill, Chris Rodriguez, Jonah Coleman. Not bad. Not bad considering I went 3 wide receivers, a tight end, and a QB in the first 5 picks. It's a noob's draft. It's a noob draft right there. It's nice not to have to think about quarterback or worry about who takes who. All right, let's go Algier here. In redraft, if I draft either a top QB or top tight end, I usually don't draft a backup if I draft one of the top guys. Now, look, if you're in a league like QB, I don't think it like a QB. Well, I mean, if you're in a league where you know everybody's going to hoard QBs and you want to draft a backup, I'm okay with that. But tight end, like if you draft Brock Bowers, and then late in the draft you take like Hunter Henry or something, is Hunter Henry going to replace Brock Bowers? No, he's not. So you're on the clock. Oh boy. Well, I keep drafting Antonio Williams. Vegeta Super Saiyan saying if Brendan Strange was a better tight end with the Ravens, kept the you're talking about Likely? Well, Likely was a free agent, so and Likely was a Harbaugh guy. I feel like Likely was a Harbaugh guy. Remember, totally new coaching staff in Baltimore, so they were probably like, we don't need Likely. Jonathan Brooks, Kajana Carter. There's a name. Yeah, I mean, it's just bad luck, right? Terry ACL last year at college and Terry ACL as soon as you return to the pros. Yeah, we'll see. Michael Pittman average up the target last year was 7.8. Aaron Rodgers average up the target last 2 years. Match made in heaven. That sounds like a match made in hell to me. I want no part of that. No part. I mean, I will say if you made me choose between Pittman or DK Metcalf, I would choose Pittman. But I just really want no part, personally. Somehow, after all this, I have 6 wide receivers and 6 running backs. Yeah, if you draft Bowers or McBride or Loveland and they get hurt, you're just gonna have to go to the waiver wire. Let's go Gunnar Helm at tight end. I like Helm. Let's do it. All right, then let's go Ted Hurst for that bring back with Puka. We got our bring back with Puka. And then we'll finish with one more running back. Yeah, Terrence Ferguson. I was thinking about him there, but he went before Helm. It was between him and Helm for me. I mean, I got Bauer, so my tight end 2 will hopefully only contribute one time this year. You never know. Could have some big games and be a flex play. All right, one more round and then we're done, guys. Appreciate you guys being on here. Don't forget, if you have not tried these drafts and you want to try them, go to Underdog Fantasy. When you join, use our promo code ENDGAME. You see it scrolling down there. It's been scrolling the whole time. You're going to get a deposit match. You're going to get a free gimme pick. Plus, as soon as you play $5, you're going to get an extra $50 in bonus funds. So check it out. Ton of fun. And it's not just this draft. They have a ton of drafts, all different entry points. So $3, $5, $100, whatever you feel like, they got them. Check it out. Underdog Fantasy. Use promo code ENDGAME. Bob's saying league mates tend to hoard QBs. Yeah. I mean, in that instance, I might go a second QB because, like, let's say you draft Lamar early and then maybe you could still get, like, a Kyler later. At least if Lamar goes down, you have a Kyler at least. Like, you're not rolling out Bryce Young every week or Shedeur Sanders or Tua or something. The next video drops Saturday. So right now we're doing Saturday, Monday is the schedule for the videos. But once August hits, they'll be coming out fast and furious. Saturday will be the next video. All right, I took Braylon Allen last time. I got Bill, so let's not go with him. Boy, it's ugly here. All right. I'm just gonna panic pick Braylon Allen again. All right, guys. I don't like any of these running backs. Gross. All right, guys. Appreciate you being on here. Appreciate chatting football and fantasy with you guys. Check out Underdog Fantasy. And again, check out our video Saturday. And we'll be doing, hopefully with Pierre, we're doing another mock this Thursday, a sleeper mock draft. So if you want to do a mock draft, be back here on Thursday. All right, everybody. Appreciate you being on here. Enjoy the rest of your night.